Welcome to Nova's Hub, the channel that explores the latest trends, news, and innovations from around the world. On March 8, 2014, Malaysian Airlines flight MH370 took off from Kuala Lumpur International Airport en route to Beijing, China. What was supposed to be a routine flight turned into a mystery that remains unsolved to this day. The Boeing 777-200ER was carrying 239 passengers and crew members when it disappeared from radar screens over the South China Sea just hours after takeoff. The search for MH370 quickly became the largest and most expensive search in aviation history, with over 30 countries participating in the effort. The search area covered millions of square kilometers of ocean, but no trace of the missing plane was found. The investigation into the disappearance of MH370 has been one of the most extensive and thorough in aviation history, but it has been unable to provide a definitive answer as to what happened to the plane. One theory that has been put forward is that the plane was hijacked, possibly by one or more of the passengers or crew members. This theory gained traction in the early days of the search when it was revealed that two of the passengers on board were traveling on stolen passports. However, no group or individual has claimed responsibility for the disappearance, and there is no concrete evidence to support this theory. Another theory is that the plane suffered a catastrophic mechanical failure, such as an explosion or fire, which caused it to crash into the ocean. The plane's transponder and other communication systems stopped working just before it disappeared from radar screens, which could be a sign of a mechanical failure. However, again, there is no definitive evidence to support this theory. Some have even suggested that the plane may have been the victim of a deliberate act, such as an act of terrorism or sabotage. However, there is no evidence to support this theory either. Despite the lack of answers, the search for MH370 continues to this day, with private companies and individuals joining the effort. The families of the passengers and crew members continue to grieve and demand answers, and the aviation industry has been forced to examine its safety protocols and procedures. In the years since the disappearance of MH370, there have been a number of developments in the search for the missing plane. In 2015, a piece of debris from the plane was found on the island of Reunion in the Indian Ocean. The debris was confirmed to be from MH370, but it provided few clues as to what happened to the plane. Since then, more pieces of debris have been found on the coasts of Africa and Madagascar, but they have not provided any new leads in the investigation. In 2018, the Malaysian government announced that it would be resuming the search for MH370. The new search effort, which was conducted by a private company called Ocean Infinity, covered an area of over 112,000 square kilometers in the southern Indian Ocean. However, once again, the search was unsuccessful, and the fate of MH370 remains unknown. Until the fate of MH370 is discovered, it will remain one of the greatest unsolved mysteries of modern times. The disappearance of MH370 has forced the aviation industry to take a hard look at its safety protocols and procedures, and it has highlighted the need for better communication and tracking systems for planes.